What are we creating today? An amazing fall table decoration. So let's get into it. Here's what you'll need for this project.
What you'll need.
For this project, you'll need 2 wooden pumpkin decorations, 1 larger wooden pumpkin decoration, 1 2x18-inch wooden plank, a pack of burlap leaves, you'll only need 3 of them, 1 tube of all-purpose caulk, a pair of scissors, 3 different color Craft Smart craft paints. I use aqua, orange spice, and pink blossom. I used a little Anita's all-purpose acrylic in the color earth brown for shading, a hot glue gun, jute, twine, black Cricut permanent vinyl, a brayer, a Cricut machine, a weeding tool, Cricut transfer tape, a scraper, and tumbling tower blocks. You'll only need 3.
How to make it.
Start by grabbing your scissors to cut the little straw bow out of the pumpkin decor because we don't need them. Do the same thing with your second pumpkin and your third pumpkin. Use your all-purpose caulk to fill in the hole that was left by removing the string. The larger pumpkin actually has 2 holes, so make sure to fill them both in. Use your finger to smooth out the caulk, or maybe use something else like another straight edge or something because, maybe that's not the best idea. I don't know. Do you, boo? You can also use a napkin to remove any of the excess. According to the package, you should wait 2 hours before painting, but I didn't do that because I'm impatient, so what can I say? Make sure that you flip each pumpkin to the back before painting so that you can have a smooth surface. I used the color Orange Spice by Craft Smart to paint one of the smaller pumpkins. Always paint in the direction of the wood grain so that the paint goes on evenly and that way you won't have as many brush strokes seen. If it's necessary, go over the whole thing again with a second coat just to make sure that you have smooth, even coverage. Now mix a drop of Earth Brown by Anita's acrylic craft paint with the orange paint that you were already using to get a slightly darker shade of orange. Now you're going to paint curved lines going down your pumpkin so that your pumpkin looks a little more realistic. Now this is freehand, but you can use the grooves that's already cut at the top and the bottom of your pumpkin as your guide. Make sure to blend the darker color into the lighter color while the lighter color is still a little bit wet. That way you avoid the harsh lines and it gives it a softer flow. Sorry about the blurry spot that was in the bottom left corner of the screen. I'm just now realizing it now, so I'm cleaning it off. My bad. Okay, this color is called Aqua by Craft Smart. For the second smaller pumpkin, we're going to go in with the color Aqua and paint it the exact same way that we did the first small pumpkin. Make sure that you paint thin, even coats, and for best results, be sure to let each layer dry before adding your second. I didn't do that because I was in a rush, like I said, but that's up to you. Back in business, let's go. I was gonna make this one white, but unfortunately, I don't have any white paint. So, this is gonna be pink. Yes, pink pumpkin. Why not? Okay. Who says you can't have a pink pumpkin? Use the color Pink Blossom to paint your third pumpkin, which is also the largest one. Alright, and now the pumpkin painting part of this project is over. What time is it? 12:14, right on time, okay? We're gonna let these pumpkins dry and I'm gonna get back with you tomorrow, okay? Grab your hot glue gun and put a line of hot glue around the base of the pumpkin stem. Push your jute twine down into the hot glue and use that as your starting point. Wrap the jute twine around the pumpkin stem over and over in an upward spiral. Make sure that you don't leave any space in between and use your hot glue after every few turns around the stem to secure it. Cover the entire stem with jute twine. Also, be very careful pushing the jute into the hot glue because you don't want to burn your fingers. Use your scissors to cut the little excess strings down if you want to, or you may want to leave them. It's optional because you may like that look, I don't know. Grab one of your burlap leaves from the pack. Now you can keep the leaf the way it is if you like, but for me it was too big, so I wanted to cut it down into a smaller leaf shape or like a football shape. Go back around the edge of your leaf with your scissors and cut little ridges into it or waves to give it a more natural leaf shape. There we go. Break off the stem because we don't need it. Hot glue your new leaf onto the base of your pumpkin stem. For the next phase of this project, open up your Cricut Design Space app. Click on text on the left side of the screen. Type the word thankful. Click on text again and type the word blessed. Click on fonts and choose the font that you like best. I went with the Alyssa stencil script font. Go to the top of the screen to change your letter spacing to 0. Click on the word blessed and repeat the same steps. Change the font to the Alyssa stencil script font and make sure the letter spacing is set to 0. After measuring the smaller wooden pumpkins, I found that the width was 9 inches and the height was 8.5 inches. So we know that we need to make the width of the word smaller than 9 inches, so I decided to change the word thankful to 7 inches in width. Do the same for the word blessed. Click on text a third time, then type the ampersand symbol. After measuring the bigger pumpkin, I found that the width was 10 3/4 inches and the height is 9 inches. So this time I wanted to make the height of the ampersand 5 inches tall. Click on the Make It button and then save your project. Select how you'll load your material into your Cricut machine. I'm going to be doing on the mat. Make sure your material size is set to 12 inches, then hit continue. Select your base material. I chose premium vinyl permanent glossy. Now let's go back to the live view so we can make it. Measure out 12 inches of glossy permanent vinyl. Use the grid on the back as your guide to cut in a straight line. Use your brayer to smooth your permanent vinyl onto your Cricut mat. Load your mat into your Cricut machine, press the go button and let your Cricut machine do its thing. Weed away the unwanted parts of the vinyl. You can use your weeding tool to assist you if you need it. Start peeling at the edges with your weeding tool and go really slow so you don't end up fighting a vinyl mess like I did. Grab your Cricut transfer tape, measure out a piece of transfer tape that's big enough to cover your entire design, then use your scissors to cut it out. Use your brayer tool to smooth your Cricut tape into your design. Cut out each word and the ampersand symbol to separate them from one another. The brayer isn't going to be enough to pick up the vinyl with your transfer tape, so you're going to have to use your scraper. Now you have to be real firm with your scraper and smooth it over the transfer tape just like you're buttering toast. If it's not sticking, go a little harder. Picking up the vinyl is real tough. Also, work both sides. After you scrape it from the front, flip it over and scrape it on the back side too. It's almost like you have to tell that vinyl, you coming with me whether you like it or not. Okay. When you finally get the letters to stick to the transfer tape, roll, don't yank. When peeling the backing, roll it off gently at an angle. You want your vinyl to stay cute and cooperative.
Woo, that was a lot. Okay. Well,
when placing your vinyl words onto your pumpkin with the Cricut transfer tape, make sure that you center it vertically and horizontally. You want to make sure that it's dead in the center so you have an even design. Then grab your scraper tool and smooth it out. Make it real smooth, no wrinkles. Peel with patience. Roll your transfer tape back slowly and at an angle. And if you're rolling it back and the letters aren't sticking to the wood, use your scraper tool to scrape it a little more so that it'll stick. So I'm missing a little bit of the footage where I glued the large pink pumpkin to the 2x18 inch plank. Now I'm putting hot glue on the pink pumpkin on the part where the orange pumpkin will overlap. But you have to be very careful not to cover up the ampersand symbol because that has to be completely visible. Now you have to hold the orange pumpkin in place and press it down to make sure that it's secure, but you also need to make sure that it is even at the bottom so that it can stand up straight. Glue a tumbling tower block to the bottom of each pumpkin and to the wooden plank. This keeps everything sturdy and standing tall like it's supposed to be.
It's time for the big reveal.
And just like that, we've got the cutest fall table decor. Look at us being all crafty. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Oh, and swing by DeAnnCreates.com. Later.